Senate passed Trump's sweeping tax cut and spending bill. It now heads back to the House for its final stamp. And it could be on President Donald Trump's desk before the July 4th holiday. It's been a ride as Trump's Republicans have shepherded this massive bill through a Congress they control by a tiny margin. Here to tell us more is our U.S. politics editor, Scott Malone.
After a marathon session in the Senate that ran through the weekend and all night Monday into Tuesday, Republicans have mustered the votes to pass Trump's sweeping tax cut and spending bill, sending it on to the House of Representatives for final passage. The bill will enact most of Trump's agenda, including extending his 2017 tax cuts, providing more funding for border security in the military, and according to nonpartisan analysts, add about $3.3 trillion to the national debt. That's a number that Republicans dispute, but kind of using long-standing methods of scoring these bills, that's what the math suggests. Next steps up goes to the House. The House is also controlled by Trump's Republicans, but also narrowly. Once again, they can afford to lose no more than 3 votes if they want to pass it. House Speaker Mike Johnson has repeated his commitment to pass the bill in time for Trump's July 4th holiday deadline, and we will see what happens next.
The Senate's passage of the big, beautiful bill will likely underscore an ongoing, big, broad brawl between the president and the world's richest man. Trump has threatened to cut off billions of dollars in subsidies that Elon Musk's companies receive. That includes subsidies for EV purchases that massively benefit Tesla. And he suggested that Doge look into those subsidies in order to save the federal government money. We'll dig into the risk to Musk's empire in tomorrow's podcast. As Trump enjoys the Senate's passage of his bill, he heads to Florida, where he'll be attending the opening of a temporary migrant detention center. It's been dubbed Alligator Alcatraz, according to a source. His visit comes as he seeks to ramp up detentions and deportations, saying it was needed after millions crossed the border during Biden's administration.
The man suspected of shooting 2 firefighters dead in Idaho before killing himself has been identified as 20-year-old Wes Rowley. Authorities say Rowley started the fire to lure the responders there. He's been described as a young drifter whose motive remains a mystery. And a Thai court has suspended the Prime Minister from duty pending a case seeking her dismissal. The court in a statement said it had accepted a petition from dozens of senators that accuses Paitagon Shinawatra of dishonesty and breaching ethical standards in violation of the Constitution. Europe is sweltering under high temperatures caused by a heat dome. But what exactly is a heat dome? Our European climate and energy correspondent, Kate Abnett, is here to explain.
A heat dome is a blocking weather system. It's an area of high pressure in the atmosphere that gets stuck because the atmospheric dynamics around the high pressure system stop it from moving. And it works like putting a lid on a boiling pot, and the high pressure system traps hot air below it, which heats up and compresses to form this dome. And this dome intensifies heat in the region below.
And Europe is the world's fastest warming continent, but this isn't just a European thing, right? These can happen anywhere in the world.
It's a phenomenon we've seen in other regions as well, and just in the last few weeks, we saw a heat dome occur in the United States. And there is a global trend at play here linked to climate change, which is that the buildup of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, which are mostly from burning fossil fuels, has raised the planet's average overall temperature over time.
That increase in baseline temperatures will, according to forecasts, have the tiny Pacific island nation of Tuvalu mostly underwater within the next 25 years. And while the country is making
to the House. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. The Senate narrowly passed President Trump's spending package this morning. As Vice President Vance broke the tie, House members expected to vote on it in the coming days.
House GOP leaders hope the July 4th deadline applies pressure on skeptical Republicans to vote yes. Republicans are banking on President Trump to close the deal. He could implore Republicans to pass the hallmark of his agenda or face his wrath. The GOP can only lose 3 votes.
Fox's Chad Perkam on Capitol Hill. President Trump has been pushing Congress to vote on the measure by the July 4th holiday. Back to deliberations tomorrow as the jury in the criminal trial of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs has reached decisions on most of the charges in the case.
A late afternoon note indicated the jury in Combs' case had reached decisions on the 2 counts of sex trafficking and the 2 counts of transportation for prostitution. They're split to an unknown degree on the most serious of the charges, racketeering, which carries up to a life sentence. The judge has urged the jury to continue deliberating without announcing the decisions they have reached.
Fox's Colonel Scott. President Trump says Israel has agreed on terms for a 60-day ceasefire in Gaza and warned Hamas to accept the deal before conditions get worse. The president announced the development on his Truth Social account as he prepares to host Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House Monday. And President Trump traveled to Florida this morning for the opening of a new migrant detention center he's dubbed Alligator Alcatraz.
We're surrounded by miles of treacherous swampland, and the only way out is really deportation. And a lot of these people are self-deporting.
The 5,000-bed facility is in the Florida Everglades. Environmental groups have filed a lawsuit saying the site will disrupt and threaten the ecosystem in the Everglades. America is listening to Fox News.
It's the Will Kane Show. Watch it live at noon Eastern, Monday through Thursday on FoxNews.com or on the Fox News YouTube channel. And don't miss a show. Get the podcast 5 days a week at FoxNewsPodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts. Peace.
The Justice Department has announced the arrest of 2 Chinese nationals who are accused of spying on U.S. naval assets.
Federal prosecutors have charged Yuan Chen and Liren Lai with acting as agents of a foreign government, in this case on behalf of China's Ministry of State Security inside the U.S. The FBI agent affidavit says the evidence shows the men were orchestrating dead-drop cash payments to people they were recruiting. They had pictures of sites visited, including a U.S. naval installation in Washington State and a Navy recruitment center in San Gabriel, California. While there, Chen took photos of a bulletin board that contained the personal data of Navy recruits. Lai expressed surprise to Chen that he was able to get such information. The FBI agent also wrote of evidence that the 2 had been in direct communication with a Chinese ministry intelligence officer. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
The FBI agent wrote, the efforts to spy on the Navy are linked to the Chinese government's desire for blue water naval capabilities, which would allow Chinese military ships to operate far from their own coastline. Televangelist Jimmy Swaggart, whose multi-million-dollar ministry was marred after he admitted to encounters with prostitutes, has died. He was 90. A new law in California could keep someone from tampering with your drink.
The next time you go to a bar or nightclub in the Golden State, you can ask the server to put a lid on it. The goal of the new legislation is to keep creeps from tampering with your beverage. As part of the new law, businesses must post signs that read, "Don't get roofied, drink lids, and drink spiking drug test kits available here." Ask a staff member for details. The second part of the signage deals with a separate law that's already on the books requiring drug testing strips to be available. But lids could come with a price. Businesses are allowed to charge you a reasonable price for the cover.
Fox's CJ Papa. Wall Street, the Dow gained 400, the NASDAQ lost 166, the S&P off 6. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
This Tech Check briefing is sponsored by Comcast Business.
For Monday, Apple executives are considering partnerships with companies like Anthropic and OpenAI to power the new version of Siri if it can't get its own AI models up to par in time for a 2026 launch. Earlier this year, Apple said it had to delay the AI update to Siri, which was an embarrassing setback as its rivals continue to ship new AI products and features. A partnership wouldn't just help Apple ship the new Siri in time, it would also help the company do so without spending billions to acquire an AI company or build out AI data centers. Sticking with artificial intelligence, Morgan Stanley says Elon Musk's AI startup XAI raised another $10 billion. Half the funding is equity in the company, and the other half is debt. XAI last raised a round of $6 billion in December, and, according to Bloomberg, is burning through $1 billion per month without turning a profit. And Meta unveiled its new AI team on Monday. It's called Meta Superintelligence Labs, and it will be run by Alexander Wang. He's the former CEO of startup Scale AI, along with former GitHub CEO Nat Friedman. The announcement comes after Meta went on a hiring spree over the last few months, poaching top AI talent from rivals like OpenAI with huge pay packages. For example, Meta invested $14 billion in Scale AI as a way to bring Wang into Meta to help run the new project. Mark Zuckerberg said in a memo to Meta staff that the goal of the group is to build what he calls personal superintelligence for everyone. That's all from the NASDAQ market site in New York City. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
This Tech Check briefing is sponsored by Comcast.
This is DW News, and these are our top stories. The US Senate has passed a sweeping tax cut and spending bill supported by President Donald Trump. The bill is aimed at funding deportations and boosting defense and energy spending. The legislation includes big cuts to healthcare and food programs and could result in millions of people losing their health insurance. A New York jury has reached a partial verdict in the trial of Sean Combs, the music mogul better known as Diddy. Combs was arrested last September and charged with 2 counts of sex trafficking, as well as 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. But on the first and most serious count, racketeering conspiracy, the jury has yet to reach a verdict. Deliberations will continue Wednesday. And more than 165 international charities and non-governmental organizations, including Oxfam, Amnesty International and Save the Children, have called for the closure of the US and Israel-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. NGOs and witnesses have described a pattern of Israeli forces and armed gangs opening fire on people seeking aid from sites run by the group. This is DW News from Berlin. You can get lots more news on our website, dw.com.